Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association are embarking on a serious industrial strike action, and we'll tell you why. What are some of the conditions of service they are asking for? They are saying that they want acting allowance, additional duty allowance, overtime allowance, call-in allowance, commuted overtime allowance, height/death allowance. This one in particular, we'll go into it. Permanent posting allowance, temporary posting allowance, traveling expenses allowance, tools allowance, physically challenged guide, physically challenged transport. Wow, that's a lot. And then we have local trips. They want allowances for those two. Foreign trips, per diem stipend, warm clothing, day trip allowances, vehicle maintenance allowance, kilometric allowance, medical subsidy, funeral grant, book and research allowance, uniform allowance, fuel allowance, non-basic allowance, on-call facilitation allowance, rural incentive, rural incentive allowance, 13th month allowance, continuous professional development support. We all know and can't underplay how important Ghanaian registered nurses and midwives are, especially in this economy and in the sector in which they find themselves. We won't downplay that, right? But here is the worry. What they do, they provide essential services. And there are laws that guide people who provide essential services, especially as to whether they want to take a strike action or not. And this is what the law says. The Labor Law Act of Ghana provides that an employer who is carrying on or a worker who is engaged in an essential service shall not resort, and the word is shall, so it's mandatory, right? Yes, shall not resort to a lockout or strike in connection with or in furtherance of any industrial dispute involving the workers in the essential services. So if we are to go by this law, one, their actions to go on strike is unjustified and uncalled for, and is a flagrant violation of the law.
All be lie. All be lie. Me, I support the nurses 100%. See, we've come far as a nation, and it's about time we put some premium on our health workers. By extension, nurses play a very critical role in our health space, right, or health sector.
Right.
And I have seen with my little life on earth and in Ghana, I have seen how doctors have gone on strike year in, year out. Hardly would you hear nurses association saying they are going on strike. It should tell us something. They sacrifice a lot to do what they do.
Okay.
What they are asking for, with all the things you've read, yes, some you say are reasonable. Others too, you can say, for now, can we shelve those things and then look at it at another time? That is fair. But if you look at the thing in its entirety, they have a say. And I think they deserve whatever they are asking for.
Yes,
largely.
Kingsley, I think we should make something straight here. First of one, we are not downplaying how important their service is and how important they are to the sector. All right? And then two, we are not saying that they do not have right to make these demands. But here, look at it. You are operating within a system. You are operating within an economy. All right? Now, this demand is coming at a time where we all agree that the country is broke. This demand is coming at a time where we all agree that we are on a path of reset. This is coming at a time where we all agree that the sector itself has so many ills, starting from structural problem to even human resource, where we are having brain drain affecting us seriously. So now, would you rather the system within which you are operating in break down because you want some demands to be met. Now look, if we all agree that we are on a path of reset, we all agree that we are broke, you make some demands like height and death. So you should be paid for that. Now come on. It's not as if you are in a country where everything is all rosy. The country is operating within a budget that is keeping the country running. And this is what the Minister of Health said when he met the press. He says, look, the conditions of service under reference are not captured in 2025 budget and will completely throw the economy off gear if implemented immediately in the manner it currently is.
So this is where I depart, right? First off, I think the health minister didn't show good faith. You met this association before the budget was read, before your budget for this current budget we are running was presented to Ghanaians and to Parliament. So you can't just do U-turn and make it look like they were not informed, as in the ministry and himself, were not informed about something they've signed last year. No, that one, let's put it aside. And when you talk about a country being broke, Ghana is not broke. We will never be poor in Jesus' name. We have money. Where there's a will, there is a way. I keep telling you that everything goes back to the politician. If the politician wants to make sure that he gets money to do something, they will get, unless they don't value that thing.
And we are
and
saying
that is
that,
what
yes, they deserve all of these things there, but at the time you are asking at a time where you and I agree that the country, you see, you can say the country is not broke, but what are the numbers saying? It's just recently that we were taken from a junk economy to what? A CC plus economy.
Whether it is
all
a salad economy or junk economy, are the people, the political appointees now, serving now, are they taking everything that comes with their office or not? Are they taking their salary plus all their allowances or not? Is the nurse a second-class citizen?
No.
Is the nurse also not working? Sometimes they even work overtime. But when a politician is traveling, the same country that is broke, we give them per diem in dollars. You will sacrifice it. The things they face, the risk a nurse will face in his or her job in a day, doesn't come close to what they are even making it look like. Oh. They go the extra mile. People in the rural areas are feeling this strike more than we in the urban areas. So and you say you didn't underplay it. We are underplaying it.
No.
Because initially when they didn't just stand up to say they were going on strike, they gave us warnings. They did press conferences to tell us that they will be going on strike from this day to that day to be sit down. From this day to this day to be total withdrawal of their services. What did he as a minister do? When you have held meetings to assure them that you will make sure that the thing is captured in the budget.
Kingsley,
why is he turning around to act like he doesn't know what's happening?
So the man in charge is telling you that, look, your current demands, if we are to meet it, even we will not have an economy to run. We will not even have a country where you would even get to treat people or operate on people. So you should have informed
them before you assure them that it will be captured. When you win election and your body is sweeting you, and when people are courtesy call, some are coming, some are going, you are just talking anyhow. You assured them. Because I was listening to the PRO. I was listening to the PRO on a radio station yesterday where he said, you promised us, you told us it will be captured. Don't come and tell them this now. When they've withdrawn their services, people are going to die as a result of this strike. People are going to be ill even more, because not all of us can afford a private health service, right?
So the point we are saying is, look, all of these things they offer is very important. Yeah. It's very critical, right? So yes, their demands should be met, but we are looking at the time when this demand is being made.
There's no better time in this governance thing. There's no better time. There will never be a better time. No. The risk an ordinary nurse will... When COVID came, nurses died. They were promised to be paid. They were to be given some insurance money. Some people died. Did you ever hear governments giving the family even 50,000 Ghana cedis? Did you ever, in the news since COVID, that a nurse went to work, normal going to work, was sick because of COVID, contracted COVID in his or her line of work, and died, and we even compensated the family?
We understand
No,
nurses.
they go through, they need the money, because in all of this,
so would you? So the question is
politician,
simple. Would you rather have all your allowances and then you don't have any country or economy where you treat your people? Is that
what you are rather telling the association is that, or the nurses in particular, is that you don't value them?
That's not
in
true.
the scheme of things.
That's not true.
I'm telling you that I have been in this country, and
don't do that.
No, doctors and other people
if
who go on strike, and we see the speed with which their issues are addressed.
Why would you say a government doesn't value them when the government is still in talks and actually is even calling them to come?
You don't call these talks. When I have met you and you have assured me, you could have done what you are doing now. What I'm saying is that this is reactionary done.
No, see, we are at a point where we all say that we should fasten our seatbelt. Everyone is fastening theirs. Probably you have not heard a politician come out to say that my salary has been slashed and all of that. But we all have agreed that we are fastening our belt. And you making these demands at this time, no one is saying that you shouldn't make these demands. You have every right. Because the services you are providing is essential, it is critical. So yes, you have every right to make these demands. But we are saying that at what cost are you going to make these demands? Is it at a cost that you get what you want and then you don't have an economy where you can treat the people? Or let's still make sure that we heal as a nation. In the process of healing, we are also tackling, even if not all your demands, we are tackling majority of your demands. And that is why the minister is calling them to come to the table. And do you know the call he has made now? He has now made a clarion call to retired nurses and midwives to come and be working. It shouldn't be so.
I keep saying on this platform, believe the politician at your own risk. Politicians, they can talk. They can talk.
You know,
you could have done
for me,
all these negotiations
I want us
earlier.
To avoid that political
trend.
Everything
comes back to politicians.
We are building
they are the reason why we are here.
We are building a nation.
Of course, and who is calling the shots?
Political party. We are building a nation and not a political party.
Without the Minister of Finance signing, are we not still where we are because the nurses are on strike? Who will sign the thing for the nurses to say, okay, it will be implemented? Is it not the Minister of Finance? Is he a doctor?
So what's your point?
Is he not a politician?
What's your point?
My point is that when it matters to them, they will do it. We have money. Wherever we can find money. We were talking about brain drain the other day. Why are they going? Is it not because of better conditions of service and compensation? Why should somebody finish school, risk his or her life to cross a river, to cross sea, to go and administer essential service to people? People are in their offices, or let me say at their workstations, and they are not even assured that they will come back and meet their family in the evening. Because some diseases they go and encounter every day is at a risk of their life.
I understand.
You, a politician, when you serve 4 years, you want us to pay you ex gratia. That's when we'll find money. The previous government, the appointees that just left, they will be processing their things to take their ex gratia, but we'll find money for that. But a nurse can work 32 years straight, and that ex gratia will not be up to what the lump sum the nurse will take home. And you are telling me that we have money. If we want to make sure that we pay them, we'll find money and pay them. What you should have done was to tell them that, we are a new government and we want to make sure that the economy gets some footing, blah, 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 your reset, da. You should have done it when they met you, not to give them false hope. And then when they react aggressively, you turn around and make them look like, I was even calling them to come for a meeting. They've left the jurisdiction.
Kingsley,
they've not left any jurisdiction.
No one is saying that they can't make those demands. And again, we
No,
look.
that's
their
why we've settled this. But I'm
yes, their
telling you that
importance
the
is
politician you
not
don't want me to mention has the
Do-
power
and do you know
to
what?
make sure that they
So
are paid.
The reason why I want us to devoid this conversation of political talks is that if we go that road, because there are other people who believe that the president of the Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, Mrs. Perpetual Oforian Pofu, is a wife of a big political head of the opposition party. And they are saying that these conditions of services, they started negotiation last year, 2024. It was supposed to be in 2024.
Yeah, but
and implementation be done in what? 2024. That's same 2024.
Yes, but there was a court case
So now,
stored it,
now,
right?
if you've not been able to do all of this and a government comes in power just 6 months year old and inherited a very bad economy, and you and I are aware that we inherited a very bad economy, and when we have agreed that we are all going to reset, so then it's a matter of patriotism. When we are all in this spirit, and now it is time that, okay, you need your conditions of services met. You would not even consider all this. That you had a government who was in power for 8 years, couldn't give you all these services, and a government who is 6 months old, you expect them to give you all this service. Then I'll say you are being inconsiderate, because we are building a nation, like I said, and not a political party. So let's not go into the political tangent, but rather look at it from the patriotic spectacle. Look at it devoid of politics, because look, that sector is sick. It has a lot of problems that needs healing.
It's necessary.
Those nurses, if they get good hospitals, good beds, good equipment, wouldn't they be happy? Wouldn't they be happy? I mean, those other extra things they are asking for, those are ideal situations. In ideal situations, yes, you get your height and death, you get even your clothing allowance, you get, those are ideal situations. But the situation in which we find ourselves in is a country that is broke and on a path of reset, and we are all involved in building this nation.
Bro, I disagree with you to a large extent, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
You inherited bad economy. Who didn't know we were in a bad economy? We voted for you to fix problems. So that one there, let's not go there. As a government, when you take over, during the transitional period, I'm not sure you took over all the debt and not take over the assets. When you inherit bad economy, there are liabilities.
Debt becomes more than when the liabilities becomes more than the assets. It is a loss.
You inherit assets.
It's no gain.
Just as much as you inherit liabilities. So that's
but in the case where the liability becomes more than the asset.
We don't care. You knew. Why? We were voting for it to come and sleep. Were we voting for it to come and sleep? Which sector of this country doesn't have problems? Should engineers also come and tell you the problems they are facing? Marketing people should also tell you what they are facing. No, but nowhere cool.
That is why we all must be involved in building this country.
You there, let me land. Again, then the patient's life matter. Similarly, the nurse's life also matter.
Right.
Massa, nurses also come from family. They have blood flowing through them. They can't risk their life to go to work. Because what you are going to, like I keep saying, one of the most dangerous jobs you can ever take up is nursing job. Because there's mpox right now. You don't know. There's no cure. There's no way to. They just don't know how to go around the thing. And there's mpox. You just go to you go to your workplace today. Someone comes there. They have mpox, and you get some. What happens to you? There's no risk allowance. So. Meanwhile, someone who sits in V8 when they are traveling to abroad, we will give them. Let's put value on things that will help you and I. Like I keep saying, we are in the urban area, so we don't understand the enormity of what is happening. We are making it look as if they are asking for too much. They are not asking for too much, oh.
All right.
They are not asking for too much. A politician just signing something, right, can change your life. And you're telling me that I shouldn't mention the politician. Meanwhile, the finance minister who is going to sign for the nurses to say, okay, we are going back to to work. It's a politician. We find monies to do nonsense. But to save lives, we don't have money. We have money.
Okay, so
Sami JP should go and bring money.
From Goldbot.
Yes.
Do you agree with Kingsley that the government is acting in bad faith or the nurses are right to put down their tools? Well, let us know in the comment section. And whilst you're doing that, recommend this to a brother, a friend. Until we come your way next time, make sure you're a great citizen. We are